Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on music legend Chuck Berry, and certainly through him we looked at the impact he has made on music as the father of rock and roll. Well, going from there to a guy that was born in 1961 at Edmonton, Alberta in Canada. Not so much a musician, but he does have an iconic music scene. Retired actor, author, producer, TV director, and activist. This guy got his start in the movies as Alex P. Keaton from 1982 to 1989 through the iconic Family Ties. And the guy we're talking about, of course, is Michael J. Fox. But it was certainly these three little movies called Back to the Future in 1985 to 1990 that well and truly catapulted Michael J. Fox into superstardom. He had a youthful exuberance about him that was just perfect for that role. And together with Christopher Lloyd as, of course, Doc in that, they had lots of adventures and lots of experiences for three movies of Back to the Future. He had just such a beautiful way about him, Michael J. Fox. He was perfect for the role. In fact, between 1980 and 2019, there's been 36 movies and acting / voice / all sorts of bits and pieces. Movies including Doc Hollywood, The American President, and Teen Wolf. And then also in 1996 to 2001, he was pretty much in control of the series Spin City that went for around 4 seasons. A little bit more about Michael. He was inducted into the Canada Hall of Fame in 2000. On 2002, Hollywood Star on the Walk of Fame there. 2005, American Actors Achievement Award. 2010, he was made the Officer of the Order of Canada. Very significant, that one. 2021, Doctorate from the Simon Fraser University. Honorary doctorate, that is. He's received 4 Golden Globe Awards, a Grammy Award, an award from the Screen Actors Guild, 5 Primetime Emmy Awards. Now, there was a book that I read from Michael J. Fox called Lucky Man. Now, I don't actually have that book anymore, but it told the story very much about his rise from, certainly in the Family Ties era, until this thing called Back to the Future turned up. And he talks around about the early 1990s that his fingers started to twitch, and after a little while putting it off and all the rest of it, he ended up going to the doctor and doctor diagnosing in 1991 Parkinson's disease. Now, Parkinson's disease is not a nice disease at all. It affects everything you are and all that you are, and of course it was only a matter of time before Michael J. Fox could no longer do what he did. Because for him to come back and actually do Spin City in 96 to 2001 just showed how much stamina this guy's got, how much professionalism he's got, and how much talent this guy has got. But Michael J. Fox, instead of resting on his laurels and saying, "Oh, life's over as we know it," he established the Michael J. Fox Foundation for research into Parkinson's, and that's raised absolutely millions and millions of dollars for Parkinson's research. Now, behind all of this, we have a beautiful love story, because it was in Family Ties that his cast girlfriend, Alex's cast girlfriend, he and Tracy Pollan got together and started a beautiful love story together. And certainly 30 years strong at 2018, an absolutely enduring love story, and a love story that has had to deal with a fair bit, particularly with Michael J. Fox. First of all, his stardom, and secondly, his Parkinson's disease. Tracy Pollan is an absolute legend and well and truly part of the Michael J. Fox story today. So we'll talk about the clips now. Now, of course, when you think about Michael J. Fox, there's one scene you think about in particular, and this came from Back to the Future in 1985. That was the story where he had to go back to in time and rescue his dad, who was a bit of a wimp at the time, and his mum, to make sure they got together to ensure that he kept anonymous at the same time. So the time continuum stories are quite fascinating, how they deal with them. So of course he goes back into future, and there's a critical scene where you've got the prom, the all important prom, and that's where his father steps up and deals with the bully, and then takes the mum for himself. Now, of course, around that time, we have the iconic music scene, and there the guitarist had decided that he'd hurt his hand, he could no longer play. So, after pleading and begging, they get Michael J. Fox, or Marty McFly, as he goes here, to actually step up and first of all do Earth Angel, and then Michael J. Fox takes up limelight and says Johnny Be Good, which of course is a follow-on from the last video we did on Chuck Berry, because that was his song and a song he brought to the world. And it goes to show that when Michael J. Fox is actually a pretty good guitarist, actually, because he did this live, by the way. He took off all of his guitar heroes. We've got Chuck Berry stands, we've got behind the back thing, we've got the two-fingered on the fretboard stuff. He took off every lead guitarist hero he could think of and created movie history, because this is considered one of the best music scenes of all time. Michael J. Fox, in just his beautiful, youthful exuberance, just nailed this particular scene. And of course, the song was just a little bit too much for the audience at the time. Michael J. Fox at the start says, "This is an oldie." Then he remembers where he was. Well, it's an oldie where I came from. So I've got that clip for you. And who would have thought that Coldplay in 2016 would get Michael J. Fox back up on stage, bearing in mind the Parkinson's disease diagnosis here, to do Johnny Be Good with them. So we've got a live version of Johnny Be Good, which is pretty cool. It's good to see the Coldplay boys actually giving him a bit of a go here and actually calling him a hero. Now we get on to the love story. Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan, in an interview with E.T., talks about their 30 years of marriage, and they've had to deal with all the stuff they've had to deal with, and how love has endured despite all of that. So that's quite a beautiful clip of the two of them talking to E.T. Now, I've also got some clips from Spin City, which Michael J. Fox had a lot to do with. He was the leading character. He was also, I think, the producer and director in some instances. So we have a scene where, believe it or not, they brought Christopher Lloyd back as a mentor. So when he came on stage, and people were absolutely surprised to see this, he came on stage, and of course they did a couple of Back to the Future kind of things. You know, we've got to look to the future, and you took your time, all the rest of it. So that's a little clip from season 3 of Spin City. We then got the last scene between Mike and Nikki. Now, this is a bit of a love interest through the Spin City story that didn't quite work out. But there's a beautiful scene here with the two of them just reminiscing and remembering all the stuff they've been through together. This is Michael J. Fox in a bit of a tenderer moment. And we get to see how versatile this guy is as an actor. And I thought I'd also put in there, I just put into Google Spin City last episode, because I thought it'd be good to see the last kind of thing that happened in that show. And we see Michael J. Fox very much, I think, at the request of the show more than him, coming out and just being acknowledged by the people, him thanking his crew and then them giving him the clap. It's kind of a beautiful acknowledgement to Michael J. Fox, not just for Spin City, but also for the significant impact he has had on the world. So I think the takeaway from the Michael J. Fox story is this. I think deep down Michael J. Fox is a really nice guy. He's quite respected in Hollywood even now. Is that, you know, he could have let Parkinson's disease defeat him, but through the support of his wife Tracy and his family and giving it another go with Spin City, he was able to kind of keep going and keep doing what he loved. And I think the important thing to realise is whatever phase we are in, of course Michael J. Fox's story is his story. Your story is your story. We're not going to go into comparisons here, but we can use Michael as an inspiration to us about how you can turn a pretty tragic situation into something that made a lasting legacy to this world. So Michael J. Fox, if you are watching this video, thank you for Family Ties. Thank you for Back for the Future. Thank you for bringing Marty's character to life over 3 movies. And also thank you for the guts and courage to bring out Spin City as you did. And I know for me, you certainly are a lucky man, as you've said in your book, and you've turned what can be pretty bad into something really, really good. So thank you, Michael, for everything that you've brought to this world. So the links to those 6 clips today, so some of them are pretty short. The Coldplay one's pretty cool, actually, are all in the description below. That's always where you'll find my link. And by the way, I've also included my last video from Chuck Berry. So if you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, that's it for today. We've gone into the movies a little bit more today. As you can see, we go into any and every genre and thing here. I suppose Chuck Berry has inspired this follow-up video today. And so if you have come back for another one, if this is your first time to Life Reflections to Music, welcome to everybody. It's wonderful to see you here. And thank you for hanging around to the end. So that's it for today. Next time, and I can't believe how many significant people have started with the letter E, and we've still got some to come yet. We've just done Elton John, Ed Sheeran got in there, Electric Light Orchestra have been there already. We're going on to music legend Elvis Costello next time. And yes, the other Elvis will be coming up after him. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.